Hello, welcome back to the Grape Explorer. It's quiz time. Today I'm doing the Wines of the United States quiz with 10 questions to test your knowledge. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm the Grape Explorer. On this channel I do wine education, I do product reviews and I do lots of wine tastings, as well as hosting lots of quizzes to keep you all on your toes. Let's not hesitate then, jump straight into question number 1. The earliest wine made in what is now the United States was produced when? Was it A, between 1462 and 1464, B, 1562 and 1564, C, 1662 and 1664, or D, 1762 and 1764? I feel like I've gone through a tongue twister there saying 666 all that time. I'm always fascinated by how early it was that wine was started to be grown in various countries around the world. If you think about Columbus travelling to the United States in 1492, as someone who would claim to be the first person to discover the United States, it's incredible that wines then arrived so soon after, because the answer is B, it is between 1562 and 1564. Question 2. I think I've made today's quiz a little bit trickier. Let's see how we get on. But question number 2. The first winery in the United States to become commercially successful was founded where? Was it A, Cincinnati, Ohio? Was it B, Seattle, Washington? Was it C, Providence, Rhode Island? Was it D, Boston, Massachusetts? This is why I think I've made it a bit trickier. It's all about the history, the geography. It's not just about the wines. How well do you know your history? Do you know, for example, that the first successful commercial winery was actually in Ohio? Because the answer is indeed A, it's Cincinnati, Ohio. Question number 3 now, and one of the more famous producers of the United States. At the 2000 auction Napa Valley, a 6-litre imperial bottle of 1992 Screaming Eagle Cabernet Sauvignon sold for how much? Was it A, $5,000? Was it B, $50,000? Was it C, $500,000? Or was it D, $5 million? One of those is a bit over the top, I think. I'm sure you can guess which one it is. I think the thing that fascinated me about this question was the auction took place in the year 2000, and yet the bottle was only from 1992. So it was only 8 years old at the time it came for auction. You know, usually when we're auctioning bottles, they are of course much older. And it really surprised me to learn that the bottle in question actually sold for $500,000, which puts it to answer C. Moving on to question number 4 now. California produces the most wine of all the states, but which is the second? Is it A, Oklahoma? Is it B, Washington? Is it C, West Virginia? Or is it D, Oregon? Might be one of the easy ones here, as you can probably discount a couple of these immediately. Oregon and Washington are really known for their wines that they produce, but the correct answer in this fact is actually B, it is Washington State. Question 5 then, wine production. Today, the United States produces over how many million gallons of wine a year? Is it A, 400, B, 600, C, 800, or D, 900 million gallons of wine a year? That's quite a lot. That's the average consumption of your average English person, as it works out, so it was quite a coincidence. The correct answer in this case is C, it is 800 million gallons per year. Okay, question 6, and you'll see what I mean by giving you difficult questions today. Your scores are always too good. I have to make things a little bit harder, I think. Also known as the Tasker's grape, what name was given to the hybrid grape of Vitis labrusca and Vitis vinifera? Was it A, Jerry, B, Betty, C, Augustine, or D, Alexander? There are in fact many vine varieties in the United States which are resistant to phylloxera, and you'll often find that Vitis vinifera is grafted on to those American rootstocks to protect the vines from any attacks by phylloxera. So it's interesting that they've tried to create some hybrid brands as well. The answer in this case is actually D, it is Alexander. Question 7. Let's see how well you know your states and your wine producers. Volcano Winery is one of 3 commercial wineries in the US state of what? Is it A, Texas? Is it B, New Mexico? Is it C, Hawaii? Or is it D, Florida? Got to be the easiest question of the day today, this particular one, unless you're going to tell me that there are some volcanoes in those other states. But of course, to me, from England, I only associate Hawaii with volcanoes, and that's actually the correct answer here. It is C. Question number 8. Another one that might be a finger in the air for you all. According to the California Crush Report, how many tons of grapes were harvested in 2018? Was it 140,000? Was it 1.4 million? Was it 3.4 million? Or was it 4.3 million? Now here in the UK, I always read that California produces around 90% of all of the output of wines in the United States. So it probably won't come as any surprise to learn that the number that's the highest here is the correct one. That's D, and that is 4.3 million. Question 9, another state question for you. Which state has a reputation for cool climate Pinot Noir? Is it A, Oregon? Is it B, New York? Is it C, California? Or is it D, Ohio? Whenever I go to a wine tasting, this is always something I look out for. I can't generally afford the wines of Oregon. They tend to be a little bit expensive. And it is their Pinot Noirs which I always look out for. So answer A is Oregon. And finally, question 10. Love them or hate them, we've got a question about wine points. The popularization of numerical scoring, aka wine points, is widely credited to which American wine critic? Is it A, Tim Atkin? Is it B, James Suckling? Is it C, Robert Parker? Or is it D, James Laub? Like I say, love them or hate them, you know, everyone has a view on wine points, whether they think they're a good idea or not. And it was Robert Parker who started off the trend of scoring wines and leading us all down a path of believing that we had to follow exactly what he said. The answer is C. How did you score with the wines of the United States? Hopefully it was a little bit more trickier about you with some of the facts around the history, the production, etc. But I hope it was something that you enjoyed. I'm going to enjoy this Californian red that I poured earlier. I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Cheers!